touch that fine for you. I do that 3, 4 times again, I testify for you. I told I like you, that bitch, I do it all in a move.
Hey everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today's video is a little bit different. It's a tutorial. I had the lovely Glam Life SL here on YouTube ask how I created a stop or how I did my stop motion video that I posted a while back. So I thought, what a better way to then just share a whole tutorial on how I did it. So in this video, I'm going to show exactly how I set it up in these Sims and then also how I edit it. I use the editing software CapCut, so I'm pretty sure editing wise it should be the same no matter which software you use, but I just wanted to mention that I use CapCut specifically. So yeah, let's get into it. When it comes to stop motion, the first thing I do is set my camera angles. So when setting camera angles, I use an HP computer, so the control and then the number keys are how I set an angle. So I will push control 5 and that gives me the angle that you see here and that sets it to that. And then I will push control 6 once I find a different angle, and I already have it programmed, so this would be angle 6 for me. And the controls go from 5 to 9, but I'm not really good at explaining like the camera controls and setting it up and keeping it locked. So I will have the videos that I learned from down below in the description. But I'm gonna go back to angle 5. When doing stop motion, I don't think there's like a certain way you have to do it, but how I do it is decide which item I want to start with. So let's see, if I feel like they will be cleaning the counters in these two shelves, which is why I'm focusing on that. The first thing I would do is actually go in tab mode, go to my camera angle, and sit here for a couple of seconds so that way I have a picture or a clear view of the item still there. Then I would go, let's actually start from angle 6 because I want to start from where these teacups are. So I will sit here for a couple seconds, get a clear picture of it still being there. Then I would hit tab to delete it. Then I will go back to tab and then go back to the camera angle that I set, and now it's gone. So that later in editing, it can jump to it being there and then it not being there anymore. So I'll just sit for this for a couple seconds and then I'll go back to tab to then get rid of the coffee machine. And I will do the same thing, go back to the camera angle that we set, wait a couple seconds, go back to tab again, delete this, then I will go back to tab and go back to the angle. And I would just keep doing this over and over and over again. So go back out of tab. We are now deleting that one. Go back to tab and then the camera angle. Again. Back to tab. And then go back to the angle that you set. Wait a couple of seconds. And like I said, I just do this over and over again. So, oops. After that, I am going to speed it up so that way you could just see that I keep doing this over and over again. Tab. Okay, now, or I was gonna, oh geez. Okay, I was gonna speed it up, but I decided not to. So how it's facing now, I think I want to change the angle. So what I'm gonna do is go back to the angle 5 that I set. And then I will hit tab once again to now get rid of the plant and go back to 5. Yeah, let's get rid of this one first. And it's totally up to you which items you want to delete first and then go back to. Okay. Go back to 5. And then just keep doing that. Until it's all gone. Now, it's cleared. The sim technically cleaned it. To put it back, you just do the same thing but in reverse. So I'll go back to tab and hit my undo button. It's back now. So what I'll do is go back to tab, back to that angle, stay on it, and do the same thing. So it's literally the same thing in reverse. So that way it's looking like you put it back in reverse order. But this part I am going to actually speed up until we get back to it. So I'll see you guys in a sec. So what I just did there, I forgot that I changed the angle when I got to the plant, so I had to delete it and bring it back. So that way the angle matches when I left off of. So now I can continue to do angle 6 instead of 5 now. Okay, we are now in CapCut, and I imported my I imported my video, and all I did was go to import where my videos save on my computer and then opened it. But now is the actual editing process. So I'm gonna try to explain this the best way that I can of how I actually edit the video. So the first thing that I do is I actually want to go to the part where the editing actually starts. So the first thing I do is what I'm doing now, going to the part where I actually start the process of the stop motion. So here, since it's frozen there, and I delete the rest of this because this part does not matter. Then I make it longer because it's a little easier to stop it exactly where I needed it to be stopped. So what I do now is usually let it play until I get to the part where this part here, where I leave out of tab to delete the item. So I cut it here, split or cut, and then I play it again because this part is going to be all deleted. So now that that is gone and we go back to the angle that we set, I pause it. And I also cut it again because this filler part where you see me actually delete it and then go back to tab, we don't need that anymore. So I hit delete, go back here. Usually I try not to make like the part where it's actually sitting on the freeze frame and then to the part where it deletes long. So I definitely delete all of this to make it smaller. So delete that big piece, and then now all we have is this small part where it's on there and then it deleting. So the next thing I do is after it deletes, I clip it because that's all we really needed. that what I do? Yes. So I cut, I split, and then I split it again because we only need this little bit. And then the filler part that I use to go out of tab to delete the, what was that? A coffee maker? I do the same thing. I split it, delete this big filler part that we don't need. Then I push play. The coffee cup is gone. Now the coffee makers are gone. So I split that again. It's a lot of splitting and cutting because you only need like a couple of seconds of it anyway. So I split that part, and then I just do the same thing. Go to where I'm out of tab, where I delete that, and then I go back to where I'm at the freeze frame and delete all of that because we don't need it. And just to make sure I didn't need it, I always go back to the beginning to start over to see pretty much how it is looking. So yes, I know that from that point on, everything I deleted was correct. So I just do that same thing over again. I push play. Well, actually, I don't push play because it takes forever. So I just slide this bar until I delete the coffee cup. And then I keep sliding until I'm back at that angle and delete this whole filler part because, once again, you don't need any of that. And as you can see, then next I cut it again because, again, I'm going to go out of tab and delete those cups, which we don't need to see all this filler part. And I delete this big section. And to make sure that I'm not deleting something that I might need, again, I start over to see that, oh, I made a mistake. So see that I cut the, I'm going to do it again so that way you can see. You will see that the basket with the cookbook and the cups disappear at the same time, and that's not what I want. So I go back to what I deleted before and try again. So we don't want that deleting. So here's where I cut here. Let it pause. Cut. And then we go to where that is deleted. Do I keep that? Okay, yes. So we can delete this now because clearly it's working now. And there we go. So it's just that over and over, trial and error. I make mistakes, and I really hope I'm explaining this correctly, but we're going to keep going. So all this part here, since we deleted the other cup here, we can cut this part because we're going to need a part where we actually see the cup still there. So we cut that, and then now we skip all of this where I actually delete it, and where it pauses on this angle, we cut all of this out. And let's see if I did it correctly again. Yep, I surely did. See, now everything's going to delete one at a time like it's supposed to. And do the same thing with the plates. We leave a small part where the plates are actually still there. And then we keep going until I actually delete the plate, and we stay on this angle and we cut all of that out. So that way, all we see is the plate getting deleted. And then we keep a part, just a small part of the plate actually gone before we move on to the next plate being deleted, which we just did. We keep a small part of that as well. And you just keep doing the same thing. So now everything is getting deleted one by one. We want to keep a small part where this plate stays, and then keep a small part of when it's gone. So that way it looks like it's disappearing. Great. Now I'm going to do the reverse because I did record a part where we actually end up putting everything back to where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to skip to that. Now that everything is deleted here, we want to actually keep a part where there's nothing there. And then the next thing we're going to do is skip to where it's actually there and cut that middle piece out. So let's get right here and then skip this whole middle piece and cut to a part where it's actually still there. So you will see it pop back up. And then we'll do the same thing for the cookbook. So we'll make sure we keep a part where it's not there, which is technically still the same clip. And then we will wait, and boom, we can cut all this middle piece out where we actually put it back. And now it's like jumping, and the cookbook will be back. And just do the same thing. So we keep that one. We keep a small section of it being back. And then a small section of this one returning. Delete this middle part where we brought the book back. And now you can see it going in reverse order of us making sure that each part comes back. And that's why I do it in build by mode, so that way when we do it in reverse order, I can just hit undo and it does everything in reverse order for me. I really hope that I explained it right. I am not the best at explaining anything, to be honest with you. I'm more of a look how I do it type of person, or even with other people, how I learn is I just look at you do it, but me explaining has never been good. So I do hope that I explained it correctly, but if not, I will find a video where I feel like they explained it the right way and also have that in the description down below. But until next time, bye.